How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about a brand new horror movie, and this one's entitled Hokum. It just came out May 1st, 2026, and was directed by Damien McCarthy. He's an Irish filmmaker, and this is his third film. His first two were distributed on Shudder. Those would be Caveat and Oddity. Really good, clever, atmospheric films, and I'm glad to say that this third film is continuing in his positive trajectory. On top of that, the movie also stars Adam Scott, who has a pretty good history in horror. You know that he was the lead in Krampus. A bit ago, he was in The Monkey, a cameo role, but still a fun role. He was also in Piranha 3D, and his first big theatrical film, Hellraiser Bloodline. Always great to see a familiar face in these things, and Adam Scott does a really good job. Rounding out the cast, we have Peter Coonan, David Wilmot, and Florence Ordesh. And I have to say, this movie is definitely going to be a highlight of the year. It's one that I saw the trailer for, and it had some pretty good imagery. I love when they take some effort and put it into the atmosphere and the ghost design, and Jack, that thing with the ears and the big eyes, is like something he saw on a children's cartoon during his childhood, and it's not even the main antagonist, it's just there as a fun bonus, and I love the movies that put in so much that they're like bonus characters could carry their own movies. But it's a good atmospheric movie with some really great puzzles in it and some really fun characters. I had an absolute blast with this movie, and I honestly can't wait till it comes out to home video because this is one that I really do want to watch again. But before we get ahead of ourselves, what's the movie about? No major spoilers, but a quick look at the setup. In this movie, Adam Scott is a writer. He's notoriously pessimistic and really is upset. But after he finishes the last book in one of his prominent trilogies, he decides to go to this little hotel in Ireland. It turns out his parents are dead. This is the place where they spent their honeymoon, and he's going to go down there and scatter the ashes and try to make a little bit of peace in his life. But of course, that's not going to happen. This hotel is in the middle of nowhere. A lot of the people are quite odd. There's a guy that lives in the forest and is talking about how you can eat these mushrooms, and they like expand your senses. There's the owner of this hotel telling horrifying, scary stories to little kids. But then there's the hotel itself. Really cool looking, really old, really atmospheric. And also, one of the rooms, the honeymoon suite, has a big gate in front of the door. And it turns out the owner of the hotel is keeping this room off limits because he said a long time ago he locked a witch in that room, and now no one's allowed to go inside because, you know, there's a witch in there. And no one really knows if he's telling the truth or just crazy. Well, it turns out Adam Scott does wind up forming a bit of a bond with someone who works at the hotel, and that person winds up going missing right before the hotel closes for the season. And he knows that the police weren't even allowed to check the witch's room. What if she's in there? What if she's trapped? What if I'm the only one that can help her? And that's the setup for the movie. Adam Scott going into the hotel that's closed for the season and trying to get into the creepy abandoned witch's room. Again, absolutely killer with the atmosphere. I love the cinematography. I love the way this place looks. It's so creepy when something moves or there's a sound. You're on edge and you feel it. Absolutely one of the best creepy, empty hotel movies out there. You gotta love it. But on top of that, the movie is so puzzly, and I love a good puzzly movie. It's not just figuring out what the witch is and what its lore is. It's also the mystery. Why did this person go missing? What happened? A little bit of not just a whodunit, but even just a what happened. And that's just within the plot. There's also, in particular within the witch's room, just a bunch of little moving puzzle pieces. This is the shape of the room. If I lock this door, the witch could still come this way and try to get me. Maybe I can use this tool to unlock this thing and make a passage over there. And there's a really clever moment with this dumbwaiter. This dumbwaiter you can use to access another part of the hotel that's supposed to be even more scary and even more blocked off. And there's this puzzle with the button. And Adam Scott comes up with a super clever solution to that puzzle. And that's the thing, whenever you do a puzzly movie, surprise me with clever solutions and interesting things I didn't think of. There's a line with puzzly movies: you don't want me to be screaming at the TV, but you want me to be actively thinking and trying to go, oh, could we do this? Could we do that? In this movie, it follows right along with you and a couple times gets ahead of you, and you wind up going, that's a good idea. That's a really clever solution. I love seeing that solution. And yeah, really good kind of nerdy stuff here. But then on top of that, on top of the atmosphere, on top of the story, you also get the characters. And I really love the characters. As I said, in the hotel itself, there's lots of quirky people, even though there's not too many characters, and even though some of them don't get a lot of screen time, they all have a sense of life behind them. But obviously the standout is Adam Scott. And Adam Scott's one of those jerks in a horror movie, but he does a good job of not going too far where he's unlikable. He's a jerk, but he's funny enough. I mean, this is Adam Scott. Part of me thinks this role might have been written just for him, but he knows how to be a bad guy, but one that you have a fun time following. But it's not just a jerk gets his comeuppance story. I mean, you get so much of that in horror, it's getting to be a bit of a tired trope. And to see them reinvent that for this movie was super good and super refreshing. They take Adam Scott to a really low point, but then they explain why he's there. They explain why he's such a pessimist, and you actually start to get behind and care for this character. There's a really telling character moment where he's talking about the ending of his book, and at the end of the book there's this puzzle, and the only thing the characters can think of to solve it is something really dark and morbid, and it's a really downer ending for his book, and people are like, are you sure you want to end it that way? That's really dark. But I love how later in the movie he'll be solving puzzles and he can figure them out. And the puzzle in his book really isn't that hard of a puzzle, but he doesn't want it to have a happy ending. He's ignoring it. He's being a pessimist. And then when you actually put him to the test, maybe he is willing to think about things. But yeah, it's such a good character journey to see him be gloomy but still interesting, but then to peel back the layers, figure out why he is so pessimistic, and then to work and live with him as a character. This movie does a really good job with that. Great performance here, and I really do like it. Overall, this movie hits on all cylinders. Character, plot, atmosphere, and a good bit of clever puzzle work. I really do like this movie. I know some people say the puzzles get so intense it feels like you're playing a video game, but it kept me in the moment and I never wanted to snatch the controller away from him. Overall, I definitely recommend this movie. I totally see it being on the top 10, probably even top 5 horror movies of this year, and I really am glad this director's getting some more notoriety. Little independent Irish films going all the way up to a big budget wide release. I can't wait to see what he does next, and overall this was such a good, pleasant surprise. I definitely really love this, and I'll be picking it up on Blu-ray whenever it comes out. Anyway though, what did you guys think of this? Did you really like it? What did you think of the puzzles? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, all that being said, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my 2026 movies playlist where you can see me talk about things like Primate or Scream 7. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.